So, good morning. After a good weekend, it is Monday, December 30th. 2 days before the new year. And the SPOOs, everything kind of across the board, shouldn't say across the board, but major indices are down pretty hard today. We got the ES down 71, about 1.2%. NASDAQ down almost 300. The Russell down 20. And the Dow, which I don't follow the Dow. I mean, I know everybody follows the Dow. The Dow, I think, was down like 400 and change or something like that. I don't follow the Dow because to me, all 30 of those stocks are in every other index. So, and it's only 30 stocks, and it really doesn't, I don't know. I don't really think it really paints a very good picture, so I don't really follow it. So let me look. It's down 440. So, more tax selling, I guess. I think today is like the last day because doesn't stuff, I don't know. There's maybe it was Friday. I don't know. I don't know. I'm an accountant. I know there was a day, you can't sell on the last day of the month. You can't sell tomorrow and then claim that for that tax, I think, because it's it has to do with settlement and all that other garbage, I think. And you'd think I would know doing this 30-something years, and I don't. Because I don't care, right? I don't do tax loss selling at the end of the year. I mean, unless I have some huge gains that I've taken. Most of my trading is done in an IRA, so I don't care. And that's kind of the beauty of trading in an IRA is that you don't have any real worry about worrying about taxes. Because look, I used to do all this stuff and not trade in an IRA. It sucks. You wind up getting and I would say and I'm new to this, so I would say it's the last 2 or 3 years now. I've done the majority of my trading in my IRA, and my tax form now is 3 or 4 pages long. Instead of it being 15. I remember one year, I want to say it was it was before 2020. I want to say it was either 2019 or 2018. Maybe it was 2018, but I do remember it being 2,500 pages. My tax form for my P&L was 2,500 pages. And when I went through that, I was I have to change something here. Because I am not going through this every year. And I don't use an accountant, so maybe I should have just went and walked into an accountant's office and dumped it on his desk. But he probably would have charged me $1,000 to do my friggin' taxes, But anyway, needless to say, I don't care because I use everything in IRA. So that's kind of me. So anyway, we're selling off kind of across the board. Natural gas getting a real big, strong bid today. Up almost 18%. I mean, this is a big move. Natural gas is a big contract. And, that's a pretty big move. And I think it has a lot to do with their forecasting. And I'm not a weatherman, but, when you watch natural gas, you kind of have to watch the weather. It has a lot to do with the weather. They're forecasting the whatever that vortex thing. I had seen a few posts about the weather, and they're predicting some big, massive cold front to come, wipe out the U.S. all the way down to Florida. They're saying temperature's going to drop into the 20s down there. Winter vortex, whatever, anything to make it sound like the end of the world is always a good way to present anything anymore. So that's kind of what's going on, I think, with natural gas, and they're trying to get ahead of that. And it is seasonality-wise. This is the season 'tis the season for natural gas. So, this is a big move in natural gas. But as you know, I'm actually like on both sides of that trade. And so that's moving today. Also have bonds getting a bid, which is like, wow, right? Oh my God, bonds getting a bid. Right? Little bit of a bounce there in bonds, almost making back the highs from last week after it sold off a little bit. But surprisingly weird, right? Index is selling off. Dollar's strong and dollar is up. But we have bonds up too. So kind of a weird kind of trade. So are they selling stocks and buying bonds? You can maybe go into the safety trade or whatever. Again, I don't know. I'm just repeating all the bullshit that you get regurgitated all over the place out there in La La Land, as I call it. And so that is kind of that as far as markets and the open and all that business. And you can see I got the iPad working today, which I'm very happy about. So OBS, if anybody doesn't know, OBS is open broadcast software. It's open source. Anybody can download it, and if you get a stream key from your YouTube or any other provider, I think you could even do it on, I think they're even doing it on like TikTok and Instagram now, but you have to like kiss the ring somehow. You have to like kiss somebody's ass. YouTube's probably the most easy, the easiest one to do it, and then you too can be a broadcaster. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on in the overall markets. I haven't really looked at some news. I was looking at crypto almost all weekend, and it's been under pressure all weekend. Bitcoin's down now to 92,000. I think that is the low of the weekend. Beloved XRP just continues to just like get crushed. They just keep hammering this thing. And the reason I'm even bringing it up is if you do any level of surfing through social media and whatever, you would think that XRP is $200, and just they're a very strong army of folks. Look, I give them credit for their passion for the product, but you know what? Like enough. Like we get it. You don't have to every day. You don't have to come out. And somehow I'm on like the feeds that I see these all the time, and it gets to a point where I just rub my head like yeah, I get it. Like, but do you need to come out every single day and rah, 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 rah? Yeah, I get it. Like you're excited about it, so that's great. Can you like maybe talk about something else for a change? Got Ether under. Not really as much under pressure, and then some of the smaller stuff like Chainlink, that's kind of one I kind of like, and my reasons are, I don't know what my reasons are. That's just one that I like, and most of the others are also down as well. And then Cardano, I'm kind of on the fence with that one. I don't own any Cardano. I've been wanting to own Cardano. But I think and I'll be clear with everybody. I'm not on board with this crypto thing. Like, I'm not ready to sell all my stocks and buy crypto. Nor do I think it's like horrible. I've come to the realization that it's a risk asset. That's it. That's all it is. Just like anything else. Just as if you were buying a penny stock, or like the limited part. Look at it like the limited partnerships. Anybody who's got any history, limited partnerships in the late 80s, early 90s, they were all over the place, and then like thousands of them went out of business and went under. People lost all their money, but there was a ton. I shouldn't say there was a ton. There was a handful that survived, which are many of the limited partnerships that you see today, like Kinder Morgan, and there's a couple others, right? So there were some that survived. So I guess what I'm getting at, and same with the real estate investment trust, the REITs, right? There was a ton of those. They came out every day, and they were all over the place. The brokerage firms like blanketed everybody with them. Oh, they're great thing, income, blah, 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 blah. But what eventually happened, right? The bunch of them went out, and then there were some survivors, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking at with crypto right now. It's like I'm going to stick to the bigger ones. There's going to be a couple maybe that smaller ones, but I'm not going to go and put everything. I mean, I'm going to maybe put 1% of my assets, maybe 2 in it, and that's it. And again, it's a risk asset. That's all I'm looking at it for. And I guess what bothers me about it, and what bothers me the most about it, is I still don't like the fact. Now, I know there's people who are going to say, yeah, but you could if you want to. But look, there's no mainstream way for me to just take my cryptocurrencies in general, whatever they are, all of them, and then just say, okay, I want to go buy a couch, or I'm going to go buy, groceries, or I'm going to do anything. Like, there is no, I still have to use something out there. Like some mecca, because people are like, well, oh, you can, but yeah, I know I can. I mean, but it's not mainstream yet. It's not like something I can just click a button and say, okay, this money that I have in crypto, yeah, I want to go and use a credit card on it or this. And you can't. It's not, it hasn't come that far yet. So until it gets to that point, I'm still going to have my reservations. And I don't think I'm alone. There's a lot of people who have the same reservations, and the issue is look, liquidity. I want liquidity. I want access to my money. Like everyone says, oh, well, your money in your brokerage account isn't liquid. Well, yeah, bullshit. Yeah, it is, because my brokerage accounts, no matter where they are, they're at Tasty Trade, they're at Schwab. I also have some stuff with the Principal Group. Right? I have money pretty much everywhere, and every single one of those accounts, I can literally just log in and move money in and out of my checking account as if it was cash. And I can move it into my checking account, then from my checking account, I can move it from any of those other places. So I could literally just flip money around seamlessly, back and forth, and it's totally liquid at any given time. And I don't have that capability with Bitcoin or any of these assets. And the other thing I have a problem with is the shortability, right? You still can't short these things. They don't allow you to take the other side of the trade, which again is, I think, what the problem is happening right now is you have these assets now that have run up in the last month and a half or 2 months. And there are people who want to take profits. So let's face it, that's what you do when you buy stuff, right? There's people who trade. And so now they have to sell and then sit on the sidelines and basically wait, because the only way you can really make money, and I know, again, I know there's people going to say, oh, but there's other, again, they're derivatives, and again, they're not mainstream. Like, I should be able to go into Coinbase and say, and log in and say, you know what, I want to short, I have so much money in there, I want to short Bitcoin. I want to short it. Or I want to short Ether or anything for that matter. I haven't seen where you can actually do that. It's either you're on the buy side or you're not. And if you're selling, right, it's nice to know that when I'm selling stock or I'm shorting stock or shorting futures or whatever, there's someone else on the other side of that trade, like taking it, making it a true tender. So again, I think that's the issue with Bitcoin Now, look, I could just be spewing out of my ass and somebody probably come and say, oh, well, you can, and here's how you do it. And then there's going to be this whole, course for me on how to do it and how to tender my stuff and all this other stuff. And it's like, look, man, I'm old. I don't want to learn something new. I don't want to have to have all that other shit on my plate. I want it to be convenient. And again, they haven't made it convenient yet. So anyway, there's my pitch. And again, I'm not dissing crypto. I think you have to be in it. It's an asset. Let's face it. It's another asset. It's been widely accepted now. I mean, I think even Schwab's going to start offering crypto next year sometime. I think by March, you're going to be able to buy crypto on Schwab, and soon it's going to be everywhere. Fidelity, you name it. So anyway, there you have it. And that is kind of the story with me with crypto, because people have been asking, like, and like, if you follow me long enough, you know I have not been on that train at all. In fact, I have just, if anything, maybe I missed it, but that's okay. I'm good with that. I'm more than happy to have, because I really look at it this way, and let's look at crypto real quick, right? Just look at Bitcoin, and then look at, like, say, in the last 5 years. Now, if you were to say, like, at 25,000 goes to 100, put that in perspective, right? Because I'm not going to say that, hey, look, if you were to, because people are going to say, like, right away, like, but if you were one of the people who got it at 100, like, it's like, yeah, all right, it's the same group of people that if you said, oh, you got Apple at 50 cents, or you got Tesla at 50 cents, or Microsoft, or any of those, right? Most of the people aren't those people. And maybe you got in at 5,000, but let's say majority of the people in crypto, in the game, got in when it was around $10,000 to $20,000, $25,000. That's the reality. That's when it started to take off. So now if I look at it from that perspective, it went from 25,000 to 100,000. Well, that's kind of the same thing as a $25 stock going to $100. All right, big effing deal. So what? You know how many other stocks or assets have gone up that much in that time? There's a whole bunch. Real estate is one of them. Now, I would equate it closer to real estate because it's probably as illiquid, and meaning that, look, it needs to be turned into cash to do something else, right? Crypto, same thing. I mean, for Bitcoin to be of any value, you need to turn it into dollars. For us, you need to turn it into some currency. So anyway, that's kind of how I look at it. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't really miss anything then. And if this thing really does have a future, then you know what? If it really does have a future, then you know what? It is just getting started, and I didn't miss nothing. So anyway, that is that. Couple of movers. We talked about natural gas. We'll talk about natty gas. Natty gas, big move. Natty gas. And we'll change screens here for a second and go back to their traditional view. Natty gas getting up, and look, I said it, right? And I, look, not that I'm like a predictor and I like to say, look, but I did say when we do go and blow out above this, it's going to be a blowout, and here it is. There's the blowout. Now I'm looking at, this is a different contract. I think this is actually trading the February contract right now. But when I had said, look, when it goes, it's going to blow out, and it did. And that's what's happening today. And this is a massive move in natural gas. Massive. It's a big contract. And there you have it. And then I even have my cloud here. And it's always nice, once in a blue moon, I always have something that actually works out. We can get rid of it now. We don't need it. But this is, again, and I've been saying this, too, over the last few trading days. Now, look at this range in natty gas. This is massive. So, huge move into gas. And that's kind of one of the big things today. But Ivy Rank, like, they've literally sucked all the volatility out of this sucker. There is like nothing left. So they finally exploded it. That may pose well for me because I'm in some natty gas options that should collapse. And so we're open. First time in a while that we've actually been broadcasting while we're open, and I'm just looking through, and there's really not much else moving. Pretty much everything across the board is kind of taking a hit here on the open. All right. So let's see what we're going to do today. I didn't really have much in mind. I kind of was looking to just sit on my hands most of the day if I could. So we got, let's see, the biggest movers, Boeing getting hit, DJT, Reddit down 3%, Micron. It's pretty broad-based. There's no question. It's pretty broad-based. You've got Tesla down 10, Roku, Baidu, pretty much all the big players today. Everything kind of taking a little bit of a whacking. Let's see. On the upside, not much. Again, I talked about bonds. We have oil getting a bid. Got the XOP up about 89 cents. GameStop and Apache, which is one that we have. So we got stuff in the oil space kind of catching a bid today. I didn't look at the XLE. That is kind of where it's at. So let's look at the volatility. Let's go in here and look at the watch list. So if we look, IVR, Tilray still at the top of the list, EDP, UAL taking a hit. That's going to be good for us. We're short UAL. X, that's kind of a dead stock. You really can't do anything. Tesla, still banging at about an 80 on Telephone. I kind of like this stock. We'll talk about this one. We'll talk about Telephone. Asian myself. AT&T, CLF. I've gotten my ass kicked in this stock for a long time. Even Palantir, the mighty Palantir, down $1.25, taking a little hit today as well. United Healthcare, Airlines, Merck, Pfizer. The EWZ is actually up, which is surprising. That's the EWZ is the Brazil ETF. We got Verizon on there, and then go down the list, and also Starbucks. I mentioned that one yesterday, and then Netflix as far as like some of the bigger ones here. I see some of the banks are down, and so there you have it. As far as some of the changes here in some of the stocks. Let's see how we're doing on our positions. You can see here, like I've been telling people, look, I have no problem showing people my losses. I am getting my ass kicked in TLT. I've been getting it kicked for the last 3 months, and I just continue to get my ass kicked. But my natural gas trade's coming in. I was hoping it came in a little bit better than that. This is coming in. My Oxy, my Delta Airlines is finally coming in. I'm probably not going to do anything with that. If you look, I got 81 days here, and then there's everything else. All right, even UAL, I kind of thought maybe that was going to come in a little bit, but that didn't come in as much as I had thought. And I think that's probably likely because volatility really hasn't kicked in yet. And I'm still getting my ass kicked in Adobe. So a lot of damage control. There's really not much I can do. I don't want to really get out of my natural gas trade right now, even though it has been rallying. You can see I'm all the way up here at 4.7 on the call side, so I have some room to kind of wield this, and we got 29 days left. I don't want to really do anything with this or roll it until I hit that 20-day mark, so likely going to wait another 9 days on that, and hopefully that one comes in. So not really going to be doing much here on our positions. And so let's talk about AT&T, which is on the list. And which I actually like, and I'm not really a fan of it overall as a stock, but just, it's really hard to pass up seeing AT&T with a 64 IV rank. And if I look at it on the chart, right, that's relatively high. And so what I was looking to do in here is I was going to go out to February. They have earnings the end of January, but here I was actually going to do something a little in the money. Like I was going to sell at 25 and buy a 20. I mean, I could literally just sell the 25 put, but I don't want to use $2,300. You know, just not in my wheelhouse. So I'm actually going to go and sell this for $220. I kind of like this. And we're in my IRA. And we're going to put that one on. So now we're in AT&T. So that one filled pretty quick. So we did a little AT&T, just so you see it. And then we look at this one on the curve, right? Pretty simple trade. In the money, 45% pop. It's almost 50-50. It's almost like getting 67 shares because of the delta. We're out in February. And really looking for this to pretty much do nothing, right? Either do nothing and stay about where it is, or go up a little bit. And then really what we're looking for, more than anything, is we are looking for, here's my screen brush. I'm prepared again. What we're really looking for is this right here, IV rank. We're looking for that to collapse. You know, and if that collapses down, you know, let's say below 40 on this trade, you'll see a lot of this premium come in. Now, likely you're not going to see this whole max profit, or I'm not going to wait for this to get max profit. That just usually doesn't happen. You know, if I make $100 off this trade, then I'll be happy. You know, even $75 would be nice. So there you have it, AT&T. Nice small little trade there, like in the money put spread. In the money put spread. Let's see what else. Talked about Netflix. Let me see if they added any strikes. We were looking in February, and the problem is they were 20 wide out there. And they are now, now they actually added some. Or no, they didn't. No, 15, 20, no, they did not add any. They did not add any. So if you are going to do Netflix, you need to be inside here. That's why this particular strike here at the 120 has so much volume in it, is because it's the last one of the $5 strikes. And if you look in here, and really, if I was going to trade this, you can see 20 and then 140 and 160, and that sucks. So it's going to be really tough to do anything risk defined with any kind of capital requirements. So I'm forced to go inside a little bit here and be inside the one standard deviation move, which I don't particularly like. But the fact that I'm getting $1, the fact that I'm getting $1 for that, I'm inside, and let's see, I'm at a 25 delta on the call side. Don't really like that. I usually like to be under 20 on the call side. On the put side, we don't have any problems. You can literally go right to the, this is an 11 delta. I would actually even bring this up to maybe like a 14 delta here. Now, they are expecting a $100 move. And you can see we're outside the expected move on the put side. And we are outside the expected move on the call side. So, but we're still inside the one standard deviation, which is kind of the wheelhouse where it is. But look, a 62% probability of profit here on this. I actually like this trade. I'm actually going to put this on. And then if I can bring in, it says 220. I could probably do this for 220. Whoa, that just actually... What the heck happened there? Ooh, this sucker's moving all over the place. So something just collapsed. I guess the options are just now opening. We're 10 minutes in. So got to see how they actually definitely adjusted a lot. Wow. Getting 220 for that, I was like, wow, that's juicy. But it's only because the options haven't opened yet. Now it's actually falling in line back to where I would expect it to be. So this is what this one looks like on the curve. I just have to move this so that it does this right. For some reason it's not. There it goes. So that's what it looks like. That's your kind of band. This one does look like it's coming in, like getting priced a little bit better. I would actually wait on this. Netflix is down about $10. Anyway, we're going to hold off on this one and let this one find a little price discovery first, because it is still early. The first 10 minutes. Probably wait till that one opens and do that one. What else? I think that was really it as far as what I wanted to do today. Because everything else... Tesla now is only down $10. So they're buying that. They're buying that up a little bit. Markets do seem to be bouncing a little bit. Little bit, not much. But the Dow getting hit the worst, down 600. It still doesn't feel like, I got to be honest, it still doesn't feel like, I'm looking at the indexes down, the SPUs are down almost 100, NASDAQ's almost down 400, Russell's down 30, the Dow was just down 600, now it's only down 5. I don't know, it just doesn't feel, no, it's still down 600. It still doesn't feel like we are down, like, it's that bad. And I don't know if it's just me, but it just doesn't feel like it's that bad. I'm just not seeing it. Just not seeing it. We do got like a few of the miners. I see JP Morgan's down. There's no real, let's take a look at JP Morgan real quick. I don't know if there's any real volatility in JP Morgan. I didn't really see it. It was kind of low. I'm not really a fan of the banks here. Not one way or the other. Like literally, like, I don't know if it's really a trade or not. I mean, I kind of feel like the banks are more of a volatility play if you're going to do anything with the banks specifically, because I'm not real sure. Because I'm not really bullish or bearish on the banks. I think they've kind of done. I think they've kind of done what they're going to do for the next 4 months, and I think the play in them is going to be a volatility play, but it just doesn't seem to be high enough. I mean, this is actually pretty high for JP Morgan, because normally it runs at around 20. For it to be at 48, I just don't see anything there though. Boeing, another one that's moving, getting hit today, down 7. This has had a pretty decent run back. I mean, a 60 IV rank. I don't know if it's really in the wheelhouse. I would have to say if it gets up in the 80s, I'd be more... if it gets up in the 80s, I'm a little more interested than at 60. Just don't think there's enough juice in it at 60 to really do anything. Yeah, and I'm kind of right. I don't know though, man. There's 145, a 145 put. Margins suck in here. They do. They stink. I think if anything, you maybe sell some calls. I think you sell some calls in here. I mean, because it has had... Definitely looks like there's some resi here around $200. How is that? Still only getting $100. I kind of thought you would get a little bit more. There's not really much call skew left in here today, especially since it's kind of off today. That's kind of looks like they're sucking a little bit of the call skew out. Actually looks like there's put skew, because look, here's the 172. And then what I usually look at is like the 50-ish delta, right? So here's the 50-ish delta on the call side is a 970, and the 50-ish delta on the put side is at a 10. So there's put skew in here, which means they're going to pay you more to be on the put side. Oh, damn, no. I don't know. I'm on the fence on Boeing. I'm just looking at the chart and just not... I mean, it's a big gap down, but everything's gapping down. I mean, and it could fall lower. It has had a really, really nice run. That's really it. I think I'm just digging now, trying to find something else. Oh, Starbucks was the other one I wanted to look at. We looked at it last week. 63 down $2. Let's go out in February. Yeah, this one's tight. A $7 move. I don't think you're going to get paid on this one. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. All right, so that's it. That's all we got. I know, slow day. Yeah, I know, a slow day. And we do continue to get weaker here. This is the bottom. I don't know. If I was going to try and catch the knife on the ES, it would probably be about 59.20. I don't know, 59.20 maybe? If I was going to catch a knife. Let's take a look at the grid. 59.20. Yeah, it's an S3. 59.23 would be where I would actually look to maybe catch the knife there. Small trade, would not get fancy with it. And then look for that to happen about 10:15. If we get down there by about 10:15, that would be a 10:30, like two things. There would be an S3 support 3 and also a 10:30 reversal. So anyway, there you have it. And that is the broadcast for today. So good luck today. Have a good one. And